Good evening, viewers, and welcome to our segment tonight. I'm Rosita as a presenter, and this evening we talk to youths who campaign for social justice and human rights. More young people around the world are stepping into leadership roles, often at the forefront of efforts to bring about structural change and advocate for basic human rights and dignity for all. Young activists use their voices to speak out against discrimination, social injustice, and equality from the local to the global. Whether they're working on economic injustice, racial equality, or against violence based on gender, they get the conversation going for an equitable and just society. The movement's emphasis on critical thinking is among its most significant. Young activists today are not only advocating for change but also preparing for it with the ability to think deeply and critically about the sources of injustice. Through the education, activism, and debate, they invite others to question systems of power and challenge long-standing inequalities that affect vulnerable groups. Critical thinking empowers young people to recognize and comprehend every issue related to social injustice, human rights violence, and discriminatory policies. It also encourages individuals to take appropriate action and raise awareness about these matters. These are youth-led activities whose impact is still being felt, but the next generation is leading, not waiting their turn. Their ability has made them participate in social justice and human rights issues, attracting the attention of many around the world and keep the conversation alive. Now, let's progress into further detail on the ways in which young activists are bringing change into different sectors. They are at the forefront of demands for action as far as policies that stop the tide of wealth inequality go, provide living wages, housing, and health with access to quality education. It is a call for economic equality based on the belief that all people should have an opportunity to make it in life regardless of background. Racial justice has remained a centerpiece of many of the movements that young people have led throughout history. Today, young people of color fight against systematic racism that has permeated institutions for hundreds of years and work to dismantle those systems and replace them with policies and programs that are just, equitable, and inclusive. On matters of gender-based violence and discrimination, young activists challenge long-standing social norms towards a world where gender does not predetermine a person's safety, rights, and opportunities. Leading conversation from women's rights to the voice of LGBTQ communities, young leaders are making sure everyone has a safer space. What gives such movements their power is not only the scale but also their intersectionality. Young activists understand that these issues, race, gender, and class are interrelated. They approach their advocacy in social a way that the justice being sought will address all forms of oppression at once. Of course, there is not an easy job, but these kids are tough and dedicated. They organized marches, positions, dialogues, and the education of their own communities. Things this young activist is not doing to create tangible change, questioning old systems and building a foundation for a fairer, more inclusive world. Thank you for sticking with us tonight as we celebrate some courage and intellect of today's youth activists. Next, we will hear from the leaders themselves, young people.